Aho. Something that is very important for us as men, and also actually for women to understand and experience, is anger. It is the emotion that we experience the least of because we have suppressed it the most. The reason we've suppressed it the most is because, well, people have told us when we were kids, you're not supposed to be angry. I remember at one point playing football on the little field in front of the school, and then we lost the match, and I was angry about it because I really wanted to win. And so I came back into the classroom and I closed the door of the classroom a little bit too hard, and the glass in the door broke. And so my teacher was incredibly mad at me for doing that, and my students, the other kids in the class, they were laughing at me. They were like, "Oh, what the fuck did you do, you stupid guy?" And I felt this intense pain. I felt this pain because I was angry. And so I made the conclusion from that point onward that anger is wrong and that's not supposed to be experienced. And so we get all these kind of experiences on top of each other until the point that we never even experience anger anymore, but we just experience sometimes a subtle irritation. And we don't understand why we're feeling so nauseous or like shit, or sometimes we even feel like pity for ourselves. But actually what is underneath the pity is a feeling of anger, and we're not allowing ourselves to reach into that. But what happens when you do reach into that is that that the anger that you experience becomes a conscious power, something that you can use to allow yourself to go in a specific direction. Because let me tell you this, anger is nothing else but an intense energy field. And an intense energy field means you can direct towards something, which means that if in the moment that you're feeling anger and you're seeing something that you want to change in the world, or you want to create, you want to mold something into existence, then if you use the power of anger, you can press it in and make it really something. But if you're not allowing yourself to have anger because you're just like super sad and pitying yourself, then you prefer to just close yourself off and to take a distance and not show it. And so what you need to learn to do is to feel whenever there's an irritation coming up and to work with it. Often enough, it's something that we feel in our solar plexus and sometimes in our hearts, like a pressure in the heart or in the solar plexus, or like some kind of a nausea feeling in the stomach even, it can be. If you're experiencing those things and you're noticing an irritation, then you want that irritation to evolve into anger so you can work with it. And you don't want it to evolve into anger when you're with someone else and then unleash that anger onto someone, right? No, that's not the way. What you want to do is you want to do it with yourself, when you're by yourself, or in a process when someone else is holding space and knows that you're going to go into the anger. And in that moment, you focus on the feeling that you're feeling. So you focus on that annoyance, that irritation. Maybe someone did something to you, said something to you that really fucking annoyed you. And so you're focusing on that thought, on that memory or that feeling, and you feel the feeling of pressure building inside of you. In that moment, what you want to do is you want to use your body, because your body are the emotions of the past. You've stored all your emotions inside your body, but you can use your body to actually show or bring up the emotion that you've experienced somewhere in the past. Because mentally you've created a blockage for anger, right? You've made the conclusion that anger is wrong, so you're not feeling it anymore. But then when you use your body to show the anger, you actually start feeling the anger more. It's the same thing that happens when, that when you feel shit, maybe you're slouched over, right? You're looking down, you're looking sad. Well, it also works the other way, in the sense that when you're feeling okay, but you start slouching over for a while, you start feeling worse. Or the other way around, when you make yourself have a power pose, maybe you've heard of that before, you put yourself in a strong pose, then you actually start feeling good, you start feeling better, right? This is the power of the body. The body holds the emotions of the past. And so when you want to bring up an emotion of the past that you're blocking out, then use your body. By, for example, what I do, this one. If I'm feeling irritation and the anger is not really showing itself, I start doing that like a wolf. That is like, and sometimes I make the sound with it as well. I'm like, and by doing that, the feeling starts coming up more strongly and more intensely, until the point that maybe I'm like, I start screaming. I let it out. And I feel this burning feeling inside my solar plexus often that is like expanding, and I'm releasing. And with that release comes a feeling of like, wow. But also a feeling of control over the anger. Now the anger isn't anymore something subconscious that is just hurting you inside, but it has become a power. It has become an intensity that you can also translate into passion and purpose towards something. I am speaking with you right now, and I'm using quite a lot of the anger that I've built up over time, that I've learned to consciously harness and use. I'm using it right now to speak purposefully towards you. A couple of years ago, when I would be speaking, I would be speaking just very calmly and normally. You know, there's times where this serves a purpose, but if you can use the full range of emotions inside your speech, you can use them in a purposeful way so that you can actually direct energy. And when you're directing energy, you can actually create, right? You create something of worth in regards to your work, your passion, a creative project, whatever it is an energy with which you can create. And so you want to become consciously aware of it and start using it. And so what you will notice is that when you start making that sound and you tense your muscles and maybe you with your teeth like that, and do it all in front of a mirror. Why? Because we have mirror neurons. When you see someone else that is sad, right? You become automatically more sad. When you're at a funeral, you automatically kind of become sad, even if you don't know the person that well at the funeral that died. So you're not really sad because of that. You're just feeling the sadness because you've taken over the sadness of the other people around you, because they've been showing that sadness in their face, like they're crying and they're really sad. So you become sad with them. Use that as an advantage by looking at yourself in the mirror. And when you see yourself first acting, right? Acting as if you are angry, then suddenly you're like becoming angry because the mirror is showing you the anger. And now suddenly you start feeling it inside yourself and it starts coming up. And when it comes up, it can either release automatically, or maybe some memories come up from the past that are telling you like you're not supposed to be angry, and you can start working with those memories. You can tell those memories like, no, this is a wrong conclusion I made in the past. You know, in the moment that I hit the door closed and the glass broke, yes, that happened, and it was maybe not the right thing in that moment, but I don't think that anger is a wrong thing on itself. It was just the way it was shown in that moment. But if we start harnessing anger, we can change ourselves with it, and then you can let it out, and then you suddenly release it, and suddenly anger becomes a conscious part of you that can transmute into passion and purpose and intensity to drive towards a certain direction. So use anger, transmute your anger, and you will start feeling more power over that anger. Suddenly, when you're feeling that you want to create something, and this feeling of irritation or pity or something like that comes up, you can transmute it into anger quite quickly, and then you become bigger than the anger. And suddenly you're holding it. It's like an energy ball, and you're able to, instead of that it just explodes out of you, you're able to hold it. And now you're like, I got this. Kamehameha! Which is from a Dragon Ball Z, a cartoon show, which is the sending a energy, controlling the energy so you can send it in a specific direction very purposefully and intently. So use that because it will start changing your life. You'll be able to create, you know, if there's blockages along the way, you will just go through the blockage. That's it. I hope.